guys, welcome back. I hope that you are all well. Today I'm going to be showing you how I transformed this pretty dingy cupboard into our laundry nook. If you're new here, I'm Laura and my partner and I are renovating this Victorian house, just the downstairs at the moment, to try and make it livable. To catch up on what we've been up to, I will link all of the playlists below, but to let you know in short, we're just trying to give it the first skim over so that we can get in here and start getting on with our lives. Hence why the woodwork around the door here is still not painted. It has been stripped and sanded and we are ready to go, and that is the next job on our list. But let's get straight into this laundry room and I'm gonna whiz you back to what it looked like before. So this little space is actually one of two cupboards underneath our stairs, and it was previously used as a bit of a dumping ground. I think it would have had more paneling in it at some stage, but as you can see, the back wall is in pretty bad condition. It's really bumpy, it's had a lot of holes been put in it over the years, and it's been patched up. And then the two sides were covered in multiple layers of wallpaper. The ceiling and the light fixture was covered in nicotine, so I knew that that was a project that I had to also work on. And then it also just had a lot of random bits of wood and nails which also needed to be taken out. If you've been following our journey, then you will know that we wanted to finish this first phase by May, June, and actually this cupboard had not been touched by mid towards the end of May, and Ollie and I actually had a talk and he suggested that we totally leave the cupboard, just put the washing machine in and live with it as is. And at that point I thought, I'm going to take this as my little project. We had originally thought about boarding it all over and then painting it, and I knew that there was probably something that I could do that was a little less intense and I could just take on totally myself and leave Ollie to get on with other jobs. So I knew that this project had to be really quick, totally manageable for myself, and also on a really tight budget. So the first thing I did was totally strip it down so I could see what I was working with. And that meant getting out the steamer, taking down all of the wallpaper. That was quite a tricky job because it's a small contained room and it got very hot and steamy in here. Once it was totally off, I made sure that there were no nails or metal exposed and started sanding it down. At this stage, I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do, but I knew that I had to leave the paneling exposed. It was the quickest, easiest, cheapest way to do it. So I got my sander out and I wanted to see how the wood would look. Throughout this whole process, it was obviously a DIY project, and I feel like the best way to do these is just see how you go, try and find your feet, have an idea in your head, but if it changes, if you want to do it quickly and you're on a budget, just adapt with it and go with what the surrounding allows you to. I feel like it looks worse at the moment on the camera, but it's definitely got that kind of cabin vibe to it. I've sanded down all of the sides now, the top, and also poly filled any holes that were in the back wall there, which I'm currently thinking, I'm not sure, I think I might wallpaper, but I haven't quite decided. Pulled down the light because I will be putting a new light switch there. I think the next job that I'm going to do, I've cleared away all of the mess, kind of. And now I'm going to see what the wood looks like with some of our wok oil on these sides. I actually really liked all of this variation in the tones of the wood, so I'm going to try and keep that, but just make it a little bit whiter and fresher. Then I moved on to one of the hardest jobs for me, but I knew that this one was going to make a big impact, and that was boxing in the wires towards the top here. So they were originally just exposed, and I knew that I couldn't make them pretty because they were all going off into different angles. I couldn't neaten them up and put them together, so I knew I had to box it in. And this was something that I struggled with because I'm not great at woodwork, but I just got some simple MDF that we had lying around, made a template, cut it out. It wasn't perfect. I did have to attempt it quite a few times to put it up there, and then I just sealed in any of the gaps that I had, and I knew that I was wallpapering over it, so actually it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Okay, so here is the little bit of MDF that I am kind of trying to piece together. I measured it all out, but I'm just going to use the jigsaw to take off a little bit because it's just a little bit snug. Excuse the dishwasher in the background. It is now up the little boxed in MDF section for the pipes, and it definitely wasn't perfect, but I have just sealed it in there with some more cork and it will be absolutely fine. Job done, and it's looking a lot neater in there now, and I'm going to line this wall It's not going to be perfect. I probably should have evened this wall out a little bit more, but this is just a quick project. Might just take that bit off there. And yeah, so I've never wallpapered before in my life, so this is going to be fun. And then it was time to tackle the back wall, and this was probably the worst affected wall. As you guys will be able to see from the images, it was really bumpy. I've never wallpapered a wall before, and everything that I read said that it should be really flat and a smooth surface to be wallpapering onto, and that is certainly what I didn't have, but I went for it anyway. I didn't know how else to do it myself and to achieve a nice look, so I went in with a really thick lining paper to start with, the thickest one that I could find just from a hardware store. If I'm honest, I just went for it. I just got the wallpaper out, put it on a table that I'd set up, glued it all up. I did have to drive Ollie in at this point just to help me hold it to get it onto the wall, and then I literally just stuck it up, swiped across the brush, tried to neaten it out as best as I could. At this point I did panic slightly. You could still see a lot of the bumps, so I put one more strip of the lining paper just through the middle of the wall to hopefully even out some of those bumps a little bit. I'm not sure if it did anything to it, but it made me feel a little bit better. Once that was up, I popped the light fixture off and painted the ceiling white because I knew I wasn't going to be wanting to paint once the final wallpaper was up. Wow, that looks worse through the camera than it does in person, but I've just slapped some white paint on the ceiling. On the side there, it does need another coat. Yeah, I'll have to do that another day. And then I have also, I don't know why I've done this down here, but I've painted that little strip and the pipe here, I think just to make me feel a little bit better, because nobody's going to see it apart from me. Well, and obviously all of you guys watching this video will know that is behind my washing machine. And then this pipe here, I haven't quite painted because I'm not sure. I think that I'd quite like to go quite dark with it. So the wallpaper I haven't shown you guys, but it's so sweet. It's got elephants and it's kind of sketched in a grey, more of like a graphite kind of colour, and I'm thinking that it might look quite cool if I did this pipe in that colour. And here is the wallpaper. I can't show you properly, but I'm literally about to put it up on the wall, so you will see it then. I've had to put some protector over the table because I really didn't want to mark it. Even though it's not going to be perfect, but I'm really excited to get this up because I think it's going to be the one thing that really pulls the little laundry nook together. I'm definitely not adding wallpapering to my DIY skills, but it looks so much better than I thought it would. Actually, the dents don't show through barely at all once the pattern is on, so really pleased. Gonna get the next piece on now, and I am changing my mind already. I'm wondering whether to paint this now in a dark colour because I have the graphite in the Annie Sloan chalk paint. Wonder whether that would look quite nice in here, just make it a real statement. So as you can tell, I'm doing this as I go. At this point the room was really starting to come together, and I needed to think about how I was going to use it, how I wanted to store stuff. I really wanted it to be a practical, functional space. I didn't want it to just look pretty and we wouldn't be able to utilize and use it. You always need storage, and I wanted to make sure that we could fit quite a bit in here. For every room I do, no matter how big or small, I always pull images off of sites that I'm perhaps buying bits from. I take pictures of what I already have, and then I kind of collect them all together in a bit of a collage to see what it's looking like. I'll insert a picture of what I did for this little space, and I knew first off that I really wanted to get a special light fixture. Obviously, being a cupboard, even though it doesn't have a door on it, it is very dark. You wouldn't be able to have this room without a light in it or be able to use it without the light, so I wanted to make it kind of special, something you came in and it really pulls the room together. I feel like it pulls the theme together, and how it all matches in, it just makes it that little bit more special. I actually ummed and ahed about the light fixture quite a lot. I find lighting exceedingly expensive for what it is, but I found this beauty off of Amazon and it was £16. It was an absolute bargain. I adore it. It came with all of the fixtures that it needed, even the raw plugs and the screws. We were super impressed. Next job is to change the light. This one is covered in nicotine and just pretty old. So I picked up this one. It's a gorgeous glass dome. I wanted something that was a little bit of a feature in here. And then it also has this part to it, which I think goes really well with the wallpaper. It's got the gold and the black, and I think it's just gonna look like a really nice statement. I also picked up this filament bulb, which I don't know if you can see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it yet. It is a little bit more amber than I thought it would be, but I'm gonna see when it's up. Obviously, I'm not gonna do this job because I'm not skilled to do this, so I'm gonna get somebody else to do that for me. It is up. It's actually looking a little bit wonky at the moment, but I think it just needs to settle, and unfortunately you can't see the filament light bulb whilst it's on, but it's a lot brighter than I was expecting, which I think is a good thing because we'll be able to find things in here, and it just makes the whole room look so much better. A lot more styled and just fresher and more ours. It's making me very excited. Now I'm going to need to make the decision as to whether I paint these sides dark, which I think I've pretty much decided that I am going to try and cement my decision on the painting of this back one. I'm definitely painting this metal pipe in the graphite, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. If I really like it, I'm going to do the board as well, but actually with that light up, I don't mind the paneling so much. I just think that it'll look a little bit more luxurious if it's darker. And the great thing about doing it yourself is that you can change your mind and do things again and again and again if you want to. I've only done a tiny little bit there, but I've already made my decision. I also painted a little bit on the back of the wood here, and I'm going to go for it. I think it'll look gorgeous. With the light and the wallpaper, just make it like a little bit more put together. I've got some gold and black details for in here too, so I think it'll go perfectly. And the best thing is that I'm using this Annie Sloan chalk paint, and the best thing about it is that it can be used on wood and walls and metal. So if, like me, you get really confused about what can be used where and you don't want to be changing and swapping over your paintbrushes, this stuff is absolutely perfect. It's got a really nice thick coverage too, and obviously for a room like this I can pick it on the metal and on the wood, all from one tin, and you guys know I like anything that makes my life a little bit easier. Up these from B&Q to make this pipe look a little bit more funky and cool. Definitely thought they came separated, didn't see that there's only a pack of 2, but to be honest probably only need about 2 just up the top here because the shelving's gonna go on this side. I did cheat slightly with the shelving. Usually we would make our own, but as I was on such a time crunch, I just went to the hardware store and bought these 2 concealed pine shelves, and I do love them. The fact that they were so quick and easy, you literally just had to pop in the brackets into the wall and then slide them on. These were a little bit big for the space, so we did cut them down, and I also just slightly rounded off the corners so that nobody would have any accidents hitting their head on them. Once I had decided that I was going to do this feature over this side with the pipe and the shelves, I also knew that I needed a space to hang some hooks with a long drop for our mop and items like that, and we were actually able to use some hooks that were originally in the house, so they were a little passed me down from the previous owner, and I just cleaned them up with some metal cleaner and they came out looking really beautiful. So I'm going to show you where I'm up to now, and then I'm going to go through all the items that I'm putting in the room and how I'm going to style it. Instead of putting up hooks and then finding things to put on them, I actually decided what I wanted in the space and then put up the hooks to suit it. So you will see I've got the hooks on the left side for the mop and the dustpan and brush. And then on the right side, I popped this hook for our laundry bag, which is the best laundry bag because it folds flat. It means that I can put all of the washing in and then take it out to the garden to dry. I'm also right-handed, so it made sense for me to just tuck it in the right there because I can grab it and get to it easily and also put it back easily. Main priority for a laundry nook has to be somewhere to store your laundry detergent, and I didn't go overly pretty on this one, but I went practical with my favourite OXO boxes. I also invested in the sweetest little matching scoops, which actually just tuck up under the lid. It keeps it really neat and tidy, puts it away, and it also makes it very easy to use. With the shelving on this side, though I knew that it had to be practical, I also wanted to make it look good because you can see it as you walk through the hallway. And one of the first things that I picked up was this gorgeous caddy from H&M in this really pretty brass colour. I love the idea of being able to take all of our cleaning stuff, take it to whichever room it needs cleaning. I don't think that you need a lot of cleaning stuff. I'm a true believer that less is more. Also, since we have been renovating, I've been on the hunt for some more natural cleaning products. I found a brand that I love which are 100% natural, because when I was cleaning the kitchen, I was cleaning it with some quite strong cleaning products, and I couldn't believe how my whole body and skin reacted to it, and it really made me think about what I was using in the home. By far one of my favourite cleaning brands is Method. You can see I've absolutely loved this one. It smells of delicious mint. But the new brand that I've come across is Tincture. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but it is just so beautiful. It smells amazing. And on the plus side, their branding and actual brand is absolutely amazing. Up this matching wire basket also from H&M to put my colour catchers in. I am dreadful for using colour catchers, but I'm so scared that any of my washing will run, so I've just tucked it there in between the two detergent boxes so that we can grab them really easily for any wash that we need them. I tried to pick out as many useful dishes and pots for this room as I could. This one was a little bit of a luxury, but I just thought that it looked so beautiful and really brought together my accent colour of this almost minty duck egg blue colour. And it is the perfect size to hold all of the scrubbing brushes, so I can literally grab one out, put it in the cleaning caddy and take it along cleaning with me. For the next little section on the shelf, I wanted something so that I could grab all of the outdoor bits, anything that I need to hang all of the items up online. So I have this peg bag, which is just perfect. It's waterproof, it's super easy to hang anything on the line. You can just peg it up there and you're good to go. And I just have my pegs inside here. I wish that I could use wooden pegs, but unfortunately I just don't find them any good. If you guys have any suggestions for really good wooden pegs, let me know, but I find these unfortunately much better from Lakeland. But I will link everything that I am putting below, and then they can just be zipped up. It keeps it really neat and tidy, and I'm going to pop that into another basket. As I mentioned, I really keep all of my cleaning products to a minimum, just have what I need. So on the top shelf, I think I'm going to pop a little vase with some eucalyptus, and then also my delicate laundry detergent. I quite like the idea that I have a little bit of space for this room to grow if I want to add anything to it, but I also really want to keep it clutter free. And that is the laundry nook finished off. I'm so looking forward to living in it and seeing how we grow in it, how we add to it. You may have noticed that there was a little bit of blank space up here. I didn't want to just fill it with a print because, as I said, I'm really trying to use this room practically and usefully, and maybe as we start using it I might think there's something that I really need to put up there, so I've left it blank for now. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Please do give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot more makeovers coming soon. I can't wait to finish off and finalise some of the rooms. Thank you as always for your support, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!